back. Welcome to another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs, where we teach you how to have a more beautiful, wonderful business so you can have an even more beautiful and wonderful life. I am your best-selling author. I'm your host, best-selling author Sadon Long. And today, man, we're talking about cashing out. How to build a business that you can eventually sell later on. But before we get started, if you are interested in seeing me live, or even if you're not interested in seeing me live, but you would like to be in the room so you could ask questions of someone who's actually helped people build businesses that are worth millions of dollars that they were able to sell, that they were able to use to retire their spouses, that they were able to use to become full-time entrepreneurs. And you'd like to ask those questions of me in person, I will be at Set Sculpting Studios February 3rd at 3 o'clock for Elevate 2024, the ultimate branding experience. But here's the cool thing, I'm not the only one that's going to be there. Also, there will be some other proven professionals in the building that you can also ask questions for. Matter of fact, let me give you a quick rundown of some of the people who are going to be there. First of all, we're going to have Crystal L. Johnson. She's going to teach you how to protect your property, with LLCs, and, so that you can now not only build it, but keep yourself from being sued, keep yourself from losing houses and cars and savings when you open a business. Also, we're going to have a Tia Johnson in the building who's going to help us learn how to access capital, because it takes money to make money. We're going to also have Jeremy Lambert in the building. He's going to be teaching us how to build our business credit, because again, in order to get those big orders, you're going to have to be able to have some credit so that you can then buy materials, ship the products once they're done, or whatever delivery system you're going to use, and also pay the people that are actually going to do the work. So again, Jeremy's going to be in the building. Then we also have the amazing, yes, that's right, I said it, amazing Paul Kaiser, who's going to teach you how to look like $1,000,000 so you can get $1,000,000. Then also we're going to have in the room Shy Tobert, who is going to teach us about websites and promotions. Again, you want to think of your website like a cash register. So you do all this video, you do all these other things to drive traffic to a website. Now, once you get them to the website, how do you get them to buy? How do you get their contact information so that you can then get them to buy again? What do you need to put on it? How does it need to look? What does it need to have? She's going to be in the room talking about all those things. And then also we're going to have our illustrious host, which we'd like to thank for having us out, Lamisa Marshall, which is the owner and founder of Set Sculpturing Studios. And she's going to teach you how to get that hourglass figure. Again, because the better you look, the more confident you feel, the more energy you have, the more capable you become as a CEO and a business owner. Yeah. So again, pull up on us February 3rd, Elevate 2024, the ultimate branding experience. Is going to be at Set Scope Studios in Maryville, Indiana. And that's right, I'm going to be there too. So again, it's $20. You can go to Set Scope Studios on Facebook, and there's a link there. Then you can make your purchase because seats are limited. That's right, I said seats are limited. The place only holds so many, and we can't break the fire code. So there's only a few seats still left. Get yours today. Where else are you going to be able to get in the room and ask questions of attorneys and marketing experts and people who can help you get business credit for $20? And I mean, that's not a rhetorical question. I want you to answer that one. If not to me, at least to yourself. So yeah. So again, February 3rd, Set Sculpting Studios, Elevate 2024, the ultimate branding experience. I'm going to be in the room. Best-selling author Sadon Long, and a bunch of other really great people who are great at what they do. So without further ado, let's talk about cashing out. So I was having a conversation recently with someone, and they were talking about a mutual friend of ours that sold their business. And I was really excited because I know what that means. That means that you were doing well enough at something that somebody wanted to buy it. Now, a lot of people are like, well, we're selling our legacies, and we can't keep selling our communities, and that started out as ours and now it's theirs, and you shouldn't sell BETs and things of that nature. But there's a flip side to that, and we work with the business owners, so we're going to talk about the flip side to it, and we're talking to the business owner. Okay. Now, as a business owner, here's some reasons that you might want to sell all and or part of your business. Number one, it's a chance to get an immediate big payday. So there's a chance for you to get financial freedom. You can say whatever you want about selling your business or selling out, but as the business owner, here's your chance to ride off into the sunset. Um, Number two, it gives you a chance to offload workload and reduce risk. Okay, so offload the workload and reduce risk. See, right now, if you're running the business, you're the one who's assuming all the responsibilities for delivery. You're assuming all the responsibilities for hiring. You're assuming all the responsibilities for everything concerning that business. However, if you sell it, even if you sell pieces of it, then either A, you no longer have to deal with the whole workload yourself, or B, you sell to someone who actually has the kind of infrastructure necessary to grow the business without you having to lift a finger to do it. So it's possible to get more time freedom, possible to get financial freedom, and at the same time, still keep your legacy going. And then speaking of keeping your legacy going, there's also the possibility of work-free stream of income. You know, because depending on how you structure your deal, you may be able to structure payouts or a salary, or stay on as a consultant, or stay on in a branding position. Where you're the face of the company, but you're not actually the person who's running the company day to day. So again, you see a lot of times with licensing agreements, you know, people's face are on the buildings, but they don't actually own the buildings. So again, how cool is that? My face is on it. You've leveraged your name, image, and likeness, but you don't have to actually work to get the money. And I know you're saying, well, that seems like a really big leap. Not necessarily. Okay? Because if you're popular in your city, like a lot of us are, that means that you have a brand and you have name, image, and likeness. So because you have a name and a brand, that brand is worth something in that particular city. So you could now, say for example, host parties and be a barber at the same time. So let's just say you own a barbershop and you're really, really popular. So now somebody else wants to throw a party. Now they could partner with you on throwing the party. And if it's under your name and under your banner, more people are going to show up. More people are going to show up to see you, CEO, boss chick, pillar of the community, thought leader, influencer, than are going to show up to see somebody that nobody knows. So now you can take a considerable portion of whatever it is and put it in your own pocket. If you got a good name and somebody wants to open a restaurant, hey, they partner with you. You don't have to do any of the work. You just have to put your name on it. So with those things being said, it positions you to now create these licensing agreements because you're successful. So now the question becomes, how do we build a business that's sellable down the line? Well, the first thing you need to build a business that's sellable down the line is some sales. Typically some type of social proof is what people are going to be looking at when they want to buy your business. So you have to build something that people actually want and need, that you can then sell and then prove that it sells. So that's the first thing. I got to build something that people want. Okay. And I got to build something that enough people want that I can generate enough sales, not only to get me to the point where somebody might want to buy it or partner with me on it, but that there's still enough meat left on the bone so that when they get a piece of it, that we can still sell more of it. So that's the first thing. Sales, you are literally good customers away from financial freedom. I say this all the time, that you are literally good customers away from financial freedom. And if you build a business for good customers and you service good customers well, then somebody else comes along and says, okay, well, hey, if I I put some money into this, if I invested in this, then I could take what they're doing and I could take it a little bit further. You know, I could actually expand upon it. We can actually go into some other markets. And that's what you do. It becomes an opportunity for them to grow their business, partnering with you using your name, image, and likeness. So again, first thing is sales. Now the second thing, and I would always recommend this, is that you don't name it. Excuse me. Is that you don't name the business after you. Like you don't make it Joe's Towing. You know, you could make it, We Tow Cars. You can make it something that doesn't have your name on the top of it. The reason you want to do that is so that it's easier to sell. Because now they could take over ownership and it would be seamless and nobody would even know that ownership had changed hands. Nobody would even question whether or not it changed hands. I mean, you look at BET. BET is Black Entertainment Television, but it's owned, or at least it used to be owned by Viacom. I'm not sure who owns it now, but at one point it was owned by Viacom. Okay, so yes, you noticed a change in the programming, but the reality is, if nobody told you that it was owned by another company, you wouldn't know, because they didn't have to change it from something to something. So if you want to build something that you can sell down the line, typically you shouldn't name it after you. Now you can always, name it after you and keep your face involved and keep, being, CEO emeritus or something along those lines. But typically the easier businesses to sell are the ones that don't have your name. Number two is you want to have an audience. You want to have a market. One of the terms that you hear me use is total available market, or a TAM. So if there is a big enough market, now your business becomes more attractive. For example, if you sell Spanx, okay, women all over the world wear Spanx. So if you're a small little company in Chicago, or a small little company in Atlanta, a small little company in New York, but you're building something that we can then take national, there's a better chance that you could sell that company and still keep a portion of whatever revenue that it generates. So again, we need a market, we need some sales, and if you have those two things, then you're definitely putting yourself in a situation where things could possibly go your way. So again, we need market, we need sales, we need a length of time in regard to track record. So if you've been doing this a while and people have been watching you doing it, they've been seeing you be successful, then it's a lot easier to attract investors. Again, because this is an investment. They want to know that they're going to get a return. The easiest way to get a return is to say, hey, here's what we're doing right now. Here's what we've been doing. Here's what's possible. So if that total available market is there, then the possibilities become endless. So again, those are the things that you want to focus on. You want to focus on having a good market, a good product, and some sales. You have a good market, a good product, and some sales, then you're in a position to have something that other people would want. So now, with that being said, there's opportunities for growth and expansion if you have those things, obviously. And then the reason to sell a lot of times isn't always because you want to cash out. Another reason to sell a business is if you're struggling financially. Because like I said, you offload the workload onto somebody else, but a lot of times you can also offload some debt. You know, um, Sean Boyd and I were having a conversation one time about people selling their businesses and us selling our legacies. Shout out to Sean Boyd, by the way, great mind, great MC, great guy just in general. But we were having this conversation, and I was saying that, man, there are a lot of businesses that have tons of debt, and one of the reasons they sell is to get that debt out of their name. Is to pay back those loans and pay back those creditors. So imagine putting yourself in a position by doing great work that you could then pay off all your debt and still possibly be receiving a check in the process. So now we got all our debt wiped away, and we're just moving forward. You know? So another thing that you can think of, and another reason that you might want to sell your business, is if there are some other opportunities that you want to invest in. So let's just say, for example, you have a business is going pretty good. Somebody offers to buy some and or all of your business, and you know that there is some choice real estate within your city. Now, what you can do, you can sell some of the business, take the money you got from selling the business, use that capital, and then leverage it to buy some real estate. So now you may still have your business, or you may not, but you have capital that you could then use to buy more money. So for people sitting at home right now, you're like, well, man, what do I have that is valuable? Your business is valuable. You know, your intellectual property is valuable. Your process is valuable. You know, your pipelines, your people are valuable. You know, so if you can sell and or leverage those things to then get you more money, so that you can then go out and buy something else that you know makes more money or has a better return or has a less riskier return, why wouldn't you do it? You know, so again, the idea is to build a business that has sales, you know, that has some growth potential, that has a proven track record, and still has room left within their total available market. Okay. So what we want to do in these situations, and from the beginning, is we want to make sure that we're tracking our sales. We want to make sure that we're building a customer base, building a customer list, so that when we actually sit down with somebody who wants to invest, either partially or completely, that we could say, here's what we've done. You know, social proof in sales are key, because you need proof of concept. You know, and if you have proof of concept, then it's something that we know works, and we can then maybe duplicate it in other markets. You know, maybe you could go from Gary to Indy or St. Louis to Chicago or Atlanta to Houston and build second, third, fourth locations. You know, there are Slutty Vegan locations in multiple cities now. Now, I would imagine that either A, she found some investors, or B, she did it with her own money. But if she was able to find investors in those cities, that means she got some upfront money that she didn't have to risk her own money, but still was able to carry her vision forward. How cool is that? You know, that I could be in multiple cities. Like, I know locally, Jay's Breakfast Club is going to Indy. You know, so now it allows you to have a footprint in other cities. It allows you to expand, and it also allows you to keep your business going even beyond your your lifetime. You know, because a lot of us, I mean, we do things, you know, to make money that kids really don't want to do. You know, so if you own a construction company and it's like, yeah, we really don't want to be in construction, Dad. You know, you get to keep the business going even if you're not in it anymore. You know, you may be able to create a stream of income that helps, you know, those kids who actually didn't want to be in the business. You know, so it allows you to keep your legacy going even if you're no longer associated with the business. You know, so I mean, when you think of Rock Nation or Title or any of those things, you think Jay Z. Even if Jay Z doesn't own them anymore, you know, you'll always think of Fubu and think of, you know, the Fubu guys. You know, what am I thinking of? What's the guy with the bald head? Name escapes me. I want to call him Dame Dash, but I know he's not Dame Dash. But again, you think of, you know, you think of the Fubu guys. When you think of Fubu, even if though Fubu doesn't own it anymore. You look at situations like Michael Jordan or Mark Cuban. You know how they've sold stakes in their teams to other people, but yet you still think of them when you think of the Charlotte Hornets or you think of the Dallas Mavericks. So if you're worried about somebody taking over what you built, that doesn't have to happen. It's all in how you negotiate the deal. So you're like, hey, I don't want to sell it because I don't know what they're going to do with it. Okay, well, don't negotiate. Well, don't negotiate that into the deal. Say, hey, I remain 51% owner, or I remain in control of certain things. Because in most businesses, it's really just about who's going to make the money. And if you have something that can generate revenue, then people will want a piece of it. So the number one thing you need to focus on right now is, how do I get my sales up? You know, how do I get more people to exchange their money for my goods, services, and or products? So that's where you need to start. And the thing that'll help you do that is just creating a clear message. You know, so if you got great taglines, if you got great copy, and it's clear and it's easy to understand within 3 seconds, that's going to help you tremendously. So again, if you can get the sales, everything else comes after that. You know, you're just good customers away from financial freedom. That's just the bottom line. You're just good customers away. Because if you get good customers, you'll build this wonderful brand. And if you build this wonderful brand, then people will want to invest money with you, and then you'll be able to cash out. And at the same time, you'll have such a big name that you can then open other businesses and use your name, image, and likeness to then create more licensing opportunities for yourself. And no, you do not have to be some major celebrity. You could be a local celebrity and still do licensing deals. You can actually do this. A lot of us are extremely popular, because we're in organizations, because we're a part of certain committees, because, people have seen us, known us, and been a part of our lives through social media, through our upbringing. And because we have such a good name, you can now leverage, excuse me, you can now leverage that name for more opportunity. You know, if you're DJ K Caesar and you want to open up, Caesar's Wings, or Caesar's Suits, or Caesar's Turntables, or Caesar's, furniture store, people already know who you are. People already will follow you. You can already influence. You can already do all these things. So instead of just using it to make money online or trying to use it to sell one small product, man, partner with people who have money and then put your name with their name so that you can then have a bigger pie, even if it's just locally. I mean, can you imagine, and this is probably not going to be what people want me to say, but it's the truth. Can you imagine how many celebrity drug dealers, for example, who had huge names, became party promoters? You know, started record labels, opened up car dealerships, because people knew who they were. Now, the reason they knew them, the way they got to know them, wasn't necessarily the right way, but man, look at what a 50 Cent's done. In the beginning, he was just selling mixtapes, but people knew who he was from Jamaica, Queens, and from what he was doing in the streets, and he had a reputation. So when he crossed over into something more legitimate, there were people and followers who were interested in seeing what he was going to do. So you can be local and take something very simple, very small, but if it's processed out the right way and that process is repeatable, you can now open up multiple locations. So if you are someone who has a huge following on Facebook, a lot of people like you, a lot of people rock with you, a lot of people show up when you say you're going to be somewhere, man, use that to now open a business. Use that to now build a brand. Use that to now create a wealth transfer. Because that popularity and that charisma is a gift from God. Everybody's not popular. Everybody doesn't have charisma. But for the people who do have this natural thing that makes people want to follow them, this natural thing that draws people to them, God gave that thing for a reason. He gave it to you to assist in the wealth transfer. And if you're not religious, it still applies. Because you want wealth to transfer into your household as well. This is not about whichever God you believe in. This is about the higher being that you believe in wanting you to save your household and save your family and protect your people from poverty. You know that you have a son who needs whatever. He needs support. He needs help. He needs medication. He needs tuition. He needs gas. He needs a way to, get his car back. You can be there for him. You got grandkids, and you know that those grandkids need things that your son or daughter can't give them. Maybe your daughter can't give them everything because, she's had a baby with somebody who doesn't want to participate in the raising of that child. Your business allows you to be there for them. You have a child who maybe doesn't do well in school, and probably will never get a job making what you could pay them in the regular workforce. You're able to help them. You're able to help your friends. You have a friend who's going through hard times, and you know that they're extremely talented. Man, now you can help them. You could give them a job. You know, you could help them grow whatever it is that they maybe want to do by investing in it. You have parents who want to do things that they can't do because they're on a fixed income. Things break down all the time, and you want to have the money to take care of those things. So, with that being said, the business is going to be the thing that aids in the wealth transfer. Because what happens? People give you money for your time, services, talents, products, processes, outcomes. And then you're able to use that money to A, buy more money, B, protect your family from poverty, or C, set yourself up for retirement. The business is a gift. And if you use it the right way, it will feed your family for generations to come. Even if they don't run the business, they could still benefit from what the business has created. So, as always, manage your business, big bro. This has been another episode of Successful Marketing, Sales, and Relationships for Adult Business Owners and Small Adult Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. Yeah, man, it's a tough morning. I'm struggling a little bit today. I apologize for the few tongue twists and sneezes and stuff. I'm a little bit under the weather, but yeah, had to get it out to you guys anyway. But again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, leave them in the DMs. But what I will prefer that you do is that you go over to grownandrich.com. Click the Make Money Fast button. They're going to send me an email. I'm going to send you one back. And then we're going to set up a time. When we set up that time, anything that you learn during that call that can help you build your business or make some money, you get to do it. And the call's on me. Also, one more time, if you're a business owner looking to grow your customer base, if you're looking to make your customers worth more, if you're looking to attract more eyeballs to it, if you're looking to attract investors, if you're looking to put yourself in a position to cash out eventually, hey, pull up on February 3rd. Elevate 2024, the ultimate branding experience. Again, if you're looking to grow your customer base, if you're looking to make your customers worth more, if you're looking to keep your customers longer, if you're looking to build a successful business that you can then use to leverage your name and likeness to open up other businesses, create other products, I'll be there. You can ask me the questions. And again, I think $20, to ask questions to somebody who's making millions is a good thing. So pull up. Let's do it. February 3rd. As always, it's been a pleasure and an honor to sit before you. I am your host, Sadon Long, best-selling author of God Wants You to Dominate, also co-author of The Big Picture, the #1 book of people who do not come from money that are trying to get money, both available on Amazon, and I am out.